Hey, how you doing? I'm John Peters, and today I'm about to start a new painting. And this project I'm really excited about for a couple of reasons. One is I've been thinking about the painting for a long time, and I'm finally going to take the time to make it. And two is I'm using a new product, and I've been using this product now for a few months. It's an encaustic board, or it's a board designed specifically for encaustic paint, and it's made by the company Ampersand. So for this painting, these boards are going to be perfect because the painting is going to be 5 across and 5 down. I kind of have a little bit of a sample here of how the painting is going to be hung. So in this video, I'm going to cover basically every aspect on how to make this painting. So if you decide that you wanted to make a painting like this, you really should have no problem doing so. We're going to cover how to hang the painting because it's going to be really important that the painting hang nice and straight and stay that way. And also how to finish the edge. Now the company refers to the edge as the cradle. So this is a board that's 8 by 10 with an 1.5 inch cradle. I'll just refer to it as the edge. So here's one that I've already finished, and I finished the edge with a shellac finish, and I think it came out really nice, so I'll show you how to do that. What I'm going to do now is just bring the camera closer, show you the little sketch or the study, and then we'll start to make the painting step by step. Now this is my little study that I'm going to follow, and it also helps illustrate to you what the end game is for this painting. And the first thing that I'm going to do is attach what's known as a French cleat on the back of each painting. And it's basically a piece of wood with an angle cut on it, and it helps the painting lock in place when I go to hang it on the wall. But I'm assuming that that's probably not that easy for a lot of people. I happen to be a furniture maker, and so I have a full wood shop. That being said, you can buy what's known as 1x2 at any home store, and I would prefer poplar to be the wood. And then just cut it to size and space it on your wall correctly, and the paintings will just hang on that block of wood. Now for a little insurance, so the paintings don't fall off the block of wood, you could simply add a piece of Velcro. A piece of Velcro to the cleat, and of course a piece of Velcro to the back of the painting. Well, I didn't want to go on about the French cleat system, so if you'd like to know more about it, just click on the link. I'll make sure to put one on this video. Now, as far as the 1x2, just remember a 1x2 actually measures 3/4 by 1.5 inches, and you can get it at any home store, and then you have to cut it to length. So I've already attached a piece of 1x2 to the wall here, and you can see how the panel simply slips right over, and that's fine, but I'd feel a little bit more comfortable with the Velcro. So I suggest putting a tab of Velcro on each side of the cleat and on each side of the inside of the panel, and I think that that is more than enough to keep the painting straight and secure. Alright, well now I've finished attaching a cleat to the back of each one of my panels. And now I'm going to start to finish the edge. And I've already decided I'm going to use shellac on the edge of this painting, but I don't want to get any of that shellac on the surface of my encaustic panel. So the next step is to protect the surface with a little painter's tape. Now I need to apply painter's tape to the surface of every panel. And you can see I'm going to apply it a little bit heavy, meaning I'm letting it hang over the edge a bit. And the reason why I'm doing that is once the tape's been applied, I'll turn the panel upside down and take a razor blade. And just notice how I've covered up most of the razor blade with tape. And that's just to help keep me from cutting myself. So then I'll take the razor blade and trace the edge of the panel to get a nice clean line where the surface meets the edge. Okay, well now that I've got tape on all the surface of my panels, I'm ready to shellac the edge. And I always make my own shellac, and the main reason for that is shellac has a shelf life. So there's a good chance the shellac that you buy at the hardware store may not dry correctly. So it's very simple to do. I don't follow any particular recipe. I usually just eyeball it. So I'll just give you a quick lesson on how to do that. Here's a few examples of shellac. shellac flakes. Now, this dissolves in denatured alcohol, and if you go online, you can find all kinds of recipes on how to make your own shellac. And it comes in different colors too. This is a very dark color. This is almost an orange, and I think you can get what's called a blonde, which is more clear. And anyway, you add your shellac flakes into a container, and then you add denatured alcohol, and the shellac flakes dissolve in the denatured alcohol. Well, I've already made some shellac, and I'm ready to apply it to my panels. And to do that, I've made this little applicator. Now, you can use a paintbrush, but I like to use this. So this is real simple to make. Let's make one of these before we get started. I'm using an old cotton t-shirt for the material for my applicator. And the first step is to take one piece of the material and fold it up into it's kind of a nice tight ball. And then take your second piece and put the ball inside that second piece. And then just twist it up. You don't really want to have any seams along the ball. You want it to be nice and smooth. And then once you have that, you can wrap some painter's tape around it like I did here, and that gives you a nice handle to hold on to. Now I'm applying the shellac, and I'm going to want 3 coats of shellac on each side of every panel. And one of the nice things about shellac is it dries really fast, so by the time I finish the last panel, the 25th panel, I'll be able to put another coat on the first one that I did. Well, now I'm finally ready to start painting. I put 3 coats of shellac on every panel or every side, and I sanded between each coat with a piece of 220 sandpaper. Now I'm going to remove the tape and start to paint. I just want to point out that I have a fire extinguisher close by. It's always good to have one around when you're working with Encaustic. This is going to be pretty neat because what I'm going to do is create a vessel on top of the panel and actually pour the wax medium into it. So there's a little trick to that, and I'll show you that right now. I'm applying the tape to the edge of the panel, and I'm keeping it a little bit heavy. So it's maybe a 1/16, a little bit lighter or a little bit heavier than a 1/16 over where the surface is. And that will create a vessel and keep the wax medium from spilling off of the surface and onto the edge. And then I can smooth it out with the heat gun. Now I found the best tape for this part of the project is this yellow tape made by Frog Tape, and it's designed for delicate surfaces. Now sometimes you'll get a little paint or tape residue on the edge of the wax, and then it needs to be scraped off with a razor blade, and then I just reheat it to fuse it back into the surface. Well, as you can see, a painting like this is definitely a bit of a process, and it helps to be organized and break the painting down and do all the necessary steps, but I would also suggest starting off with a diptych or a triptych. I think a 25 grid painting is a little bit ambitious. I didn't go into how to make encaustic medium or encaustic color, but I have made a video on that, and I'll be sure to put a link on the screen. I hope you found the video useful. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.